Hey, Dale, what game do reindeer play at sleepovers?
I don't know. What game do reindeer play at sleepovers?
Truth or Deer?
Ha, that makes sense. Do you know what kind of music Santa's elves like best?
Oh, geez. Christmas music, I guess.
No, rap. Rap with a W. Get it?
Oh, yeah, I get it. What do you call an obnoxious reindeer?
Oh, I think I know this one. Rudolph.
Rudolph, that's right. That's him. I hear he's an asshole this time of year. All full of himself because of that deformity of his.
Do you know what snowmen eat for breakfast?
I don't. Carrots?
What? They don't eat their own noses. No, they eat Ice Krispies.
Yummy. Do you know what Santa's favorite singer is?
It's got to be Elfish Presley.
You're right. That's him.
What did Luke Skywalker say after he planted a Christmas tree farm?
You got me.
May the forest be with you.
The forest. I like it. Cute. What did the...
All right, stop. That's enough. I'm all Christmased out.
Say what? We're just getting started. This is the Swish Edition Christmas special.
Lord Jesus.
Exactly.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. From their secret underground studio, this is the Swish Edition.
I got a mouthful for you guys.
Dale and Scott are in the studio on the mics, and they fired up the antenna.
It has to come whether you like it or not.
And if you're willing to show it, they'll take a picture of it.
I actually think I might throw up.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, here are your new best friends. They're your
It's
hosts,
very exciting for me because this is the best show ever made.
Dale and Scott.
It's our Christmas special.
Yay.
I am convinced that Dale isn't into this, but I somehow convinced him in the past to do live remote broadcasts, shows on stage in front of audiences. We did a 2-hour video Christmas special once with Steve and Jason. Remember that? With the cinnamon challenge?
That's when the show was good.
We did a 5-minute Christmas Swish Edition video commercial down in that basement. I even got him to interview scores and scores of celebrity guests, but I couldn't convince Dale to do a all musical Christmas extravaganza this year. I thought,
What's that?
well, we were watching. Dale and I have been watching.
Unless rice pudding was going to be one of our numbers.
There you go. Right, that is good. That's
Oh no. Corn pudding.
corn pudding. Yeah,
Corn
there you
pudding
go. I was
from-
like, rice pudding.
From Schmigadoon. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's
Schmigadoon.
Apple TV Plus. And I hate Broadway, and I
Right.
hated this thing, but you made me watch it. I think it was season 1,
Yeah,
episode 2.
you enjoyed it.
The corn pudding song was the best thing I have ever heard.
If you guys haven't
From a
seen
Broadway
it, if you guys haven't seen it yet, Google it. It's on YouTube. It's
So funny.
It's really funny. Anyway, I wanted to do an all musical episode because basically, so every night for the last couple weeks when we're making dinner, Dale and I put on old episodes of American Housewife. It's an ABC sitcom, if you guys don't know.
Yeah.
So cute. It's laugh out loud funny, very smart.
It's funny because it's hit or miss. There are some that are literally laugh out loud funny, and most are they're all funny.
They really are.
But there are some, man, and the little girl Anna Cat, man, she can get it.
Right.
And it's so freaking funny.
It's really good. Anyway, if you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. Anyway, just recently in season 3, I think, they did an all musical episode where they were singing. And I was amazed because they can all sing. And they
Yeah,
were
they did a
actually
pretty good
singing.
job.
Yeah, they did a really good job. So I couldn't convince Dale to do this whole show by singing, doing a musical version. It's not going to happen.
Well, you couldn't put that together anyway.
I could with some time. Oh, Dale, I'm thinking of talking about the bad people in the world.
No one wants 30 minutes of that.
Nobody wants that. Anyway, let's start out with something Christmassy. Miller High Life, the beer brand, is selling a gingerbread dive bar kit with beer-infused walls. You gotta love this.
This is great.
Yeah, the brand bills itself as the champagne of beers, of course. We all know that. And now their holiday classic is a little bit less North Pole and a little bit more Milwaukee. This is really cool. There's a picture here of it.
No, if this is what it looks like. It looks
you guys
great.
can put it together, and it basically looks
gingerbread house.
Looks like a little gingerbread bar, right?
Look at the stools.
Pretzel pool table cues, candied pool balls. There's a pergola made of bar snacks, and the floor is sticky with maple syrup to recreate the distinct sticky floor feeling of your favorite dive bar. And there's a dog shaking.
I love it.
Yeah. Kit retails for $50, but it's probably too late to get yours before Christmas Day. And speaking of that, I wanted to talk about this because I was online a lot this weekend looking at Insta and Facebook, and I saw a lot of ads for stuff that I actually really wanted to get for Christmas. There was one in particular. It was a T-shirt with Kevin McAllister on it, walking back from the store with his two bags. And remember in Home Alone, and the bags drop. It was a great T-shirt. I wanted it for Christmas. It was advertised to me on Facebook. I go to their website and they said, 10 to 14 days.
Yeah.
Well, 10 to 14 days would be January 8th. So really wasn't going to do it for me.
I bet they're still making sales.
So why are they selling this stuff or advertising this stuff if they can't get it to you before Christmas? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. For next year.
I guess I could save it for next year.
Well, I love my Christmas sweater this year.
You have a great Christmas sweater. Mine is actually at the dry cleaner. I'm supposed to pick it up tomorrow because it came smelling a little funky. I think it came from China. But who knows?
That's not why it came funky.
Well, no, not because it's Chinese, but because
up in a bag for so long.
For all the way from across the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Mine says, my Christmas sweater says the Filthy Animals line from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Which one? Oh, yours is a dirty snowman.
Mine's a snowman, and he has a scarf on, and the scarf is a separate material from the sweater.
Right.
And when you lift it up, it's basically this two eyes and the nose, but reverse. So it looks like a penis and balls.
Right. It's the carrot. The carrot is
carrot.
kind of extended out. Yeah.
Well, and it's opposite.
It's a little dirty.
So it looks like a dick and balls.
It's dirty. That's what Christmas is all about, right? So I was wondering about this. I saw this. I think Martha Stewart posted this about the Christmas pickle. We know this. I don't know if you guys know about the tradition of putting a pickle somewhere hidden on your Christmas tree. And then the kids or whoever's around is supposed to find the pickle, and whoever finds the pickle first gets a special gift or a special prize. Mm-hmm. You and I used to go to a Christmas party our friends held every year, and they did this.
Yeah.
And if you found the pickle, you'd get a prize or a gift that they wrapped and put under the tree.
I won twice.
You did. You were very good at finding the pickle. Anyway, where did this come from? Where did this pickle tradition come from? A lot of people think that it's old world Germany tradition.
Yeah.
Did you actually know that the Germans are responsible for the first Christmas tree?
I did not.
Yeah. They're the ones who invented the Christmas tree. That's a very German thing.
I thought it was a pagan thing.
No, it's a German thing.
I thought the pickle was Jewish.
I don't think the pickle is Jewish, although I think Jewish people like pickles. Anyway, there were some going around that said that the pickle on the Christmas tree was in honor of American Civil War soldiers. Then there was another that said that it was because St. Nicholas saved two boys that were trapped in a barrel of pickles. That sounds a little ridiculous. How did two kids get into a barrel of pickles? But evidence supports the theory that the tradition was most likely fabricated by a salesman during the late 1800s to promote German glass ornaments in American stores.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense, which is why I think the Americanized version of Santa Claus is courtesy of Coca-Cola, because they're the ones who came up with the vision that we know of Santa Claus today, with the red suit and the white fur trimmed hat.
Right.
Yeah, they're the ones who created that.
I didn't know that.
If you hear lots of rustling and bustling in the background, that's 2 of our 3 fucking dogs having a wrestling tournament. Anyway, so I feel like I believe that. I think that it's all about marketing.
Because it wasn't for that, it would be Hallmark.
Right. I got some scandalous news. Did you hear about this? There's a new book coming out in 2022 called The Devil Wears Cover Girl.
Uh-oh.
This is a thinly veiled Ellen DeGeneres book in the vein of The Devil Wears Prada, of course, written by one of Ellen DeGeneres' former employees.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Why does The Devil Wear Cover Girl? Because Ellen DeGeneres was, I think, a cover girl. She was actually one of their models. Yeah,
she was.
For a while.
She was with Sofia Vergara because they were kind of like friends, and Sofia Vergara was at that point currently a cover girl, and I guess they brought kind of Ellen on as a non-cover girl,
non-traditional cover girl.
Right.
Anyway, of course, you guys heard last year that there was all kind of brouhaha about her not being the best boss.
Right.
That went around for a while, and of course, then she announced that this would be her last season.
Right.
I don't know if that was the impetus for that.
Sure, it was.
Now this book's going to come out and talk about all the. Supposedly, like when you work for her, you're not like supposed to look her straight in the eye. That kind of whole Mariah Carey kind of bullshit. I mean, I don't want to believe she's a bitch because she just seems so nice and wonderful on her show.
I'm sure she is.
But you get this idea that maybe she's kind of batshit crazy in real life.
Yeah.
Who knows? But speaking of people behaving badly, apparently more white older guys are behaving badly lately. This kind of breaks my heart. Actor Jeff Garland has left ABC's The Goldbergs, one of my favorite sitcoms, because of on-set crassness. Apparently he's, talks about vagina a lot. I don't know what he did. I mean, there's no out and out sexual harassment suits against him, but apparently he's just kind of a rude bitch on set. No word about whether or not he's going to be let go from Curb Your Enthusiasm. If Curb Your Enthusiasm is even going forward, they're in their 11th season now. And
how could you not be able to say it out on the Curb Your Enthusiasm set?
I know, right? Because that show
that's where you
does all the bad
all
things.
That stuff.
You're allowed to be bad on that show.
Well, that's the whole premise for the entire show. It's basically non-PC. Going against the grain. And
I love it so much. And he plays such a great character on both shows. I mean, Jeff Garland, the father on The Goldbergs, is just like the perfect, little one-liner zingers here and there.
Right.
And then on Curb Your Enthusiasm, of course, he is the main foil to Larry David. So I can't imagine him not being on that show. But we don't even know if that show's going forward. I mean,
it should probably come to an end soon.
I don't think so. It's season 11, which we're in the middle of now on HBO, is pretty friggin' great. And then, of course,
Larry David is pretty damn funny.
One of my favorites.
I mean, he has 2 first names. Like, what is his middle name? I want to know. It's probably like Larry Jacob David.
Right.
He's got fucking 3 first names.
Chris Noth is also on the chopping block. He's losing everything because of 3 separate sexual harassment claims that just jumped up since his character Big died on the Sex and the City reboot.
Yeah.
These are from decades ago, and all of a sudden they're coming to light. Doesn't seem fair to me, but he not only was just today or yesterday fired from CBS's The Equalizer. Did you know he was on that show with Queen Latifah? He was already off of just like that because his character died, so that wasn't a thing. But he was dropped by his talent agency. He was let go by Peloton because he was doing an ad for Peloton. And then his tequila company is kaput because of this.
Oh.
And I just wrote about this on Facebook. It seems completely unfair to me that I can see suspending someone.
Right.
Suspend them pending investigation.
Exactly.
But to clear cut fire someone based on just allegations. I mean, this whole country is based on innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
So I don't understand why you're firing someone and letting them go and canceling their contracts when there's just this hint of. And he says he, of course, as anyone would want to do, denying the allegations and said they were consensual relationships. But it's a he said, she said kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, guys are kind of fucked. I mean, if women come out of the woodwork and say, oh, we had sex 15 years ago and I didn't really want to, and he thought it was fine and he thought it was great. I mean, what do you do? How do you defend yourself against that?
I don't know how you defend that.
How do you defend yourself against that? I mean, it makes you think about all the sexual relationships that you've ever had. I mean, going back decades and decades, and you're like, oh shit, what if one of those people come back and say, I didn't really mean to have sex with you. You forced me. And you're like, well, how the fuck do I prove that didn't happen?
That didn't happen, right.
It's almost zero. Impossible.
Well, that's not the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be the other person's obligation
to prove it. And how do you do that when it happened in 2004?
Right. So the fact that
it happened almost 20 years ago, and
the fact that he's lost all of his contracts from all of this by just hearsay.
And I'm not in any way defending Chris Noth. I mean, I don't know him from Adam.
He could be a horrible person.
He could be a horrible person who has done this for years and years. Maybe so. But I'm just talking about the fact that you need to give people their due diligence and you need to investigate these things. But I don't even see how you figure out what the truth is.
Right.
Or what these women, what I really want to know, and I know this is a very touchy subject. What are you doing coming out 15, 20 years later with your accusations? Where were you the day after? Where were you the year after? What are you doing coming out with it 10 or 15 years after the fact when no one is going to be able to prove whether it happened or not? I just don't understand that. What is the point? What is the point of doing that to someone or to yourself? Why would you put yourself through that decades after the fact?
Right.
And I guess I just don't understand that.
Well, I don't think we can because it hasn't happened to us.
Listen, I will tell you a truth right here, right now. About 20-something years ago, I was in one of these situations where I was kind of coerced into a sexual situation I was not happy with and not comfortable with. Luckily, I got myself out of it before it escalated. But could I go back now, 25 years later, and go after this guy and smear him because of what he did to me?
No.
25 years ago in his apartment. I went home with him. I just don't get it. I just don't get. What do you get out of this? What do you get out of this?
Yeah,
I don't understand what you think is going to happen.
I don't know.
And how you're going to prove it. And I feel bad for everyone involved. I just don't understand. Meanwhile, someone who maybe does deserve to get canceled, Bob Burger's voice actor Jay Johnson was fired from his show because of his involvement in the January 6th insurrection. He's also had bit parts on Better Call Saul, Arrested Development, and the movie Anchorman, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
My thing is you put alleged here, which is the appropriate word that you should use. However, if he was fired because of alleged involvement of the January 6th insurrection, then there's video out there.
No.
And anyone who goes to a thing like anyone who goes to anything nowadays and thinking that your ass is not going to be recorded and it's not going to be put someplace and that you're not going to be found out, then you're fucking stupid.
All right,
you're just stupid.
I said alleged, but I really shouldn't have because Jay Johnson himself has publicly stated that he was there. He was there.
Because he probably can't deny it because there's probably video.
There's video of him being there. So anyway,
did he go inside?
I don't know that much. And I don't know that he deserved to be fired. I don't know what his actions were. I probably would have to do a little bit more research. But
I mean, because being there is one thing, but going inside and actually...
Yeah, if you were just
doing
outside,
something to Capitol Police officers and shit like that.
If you were using a flag to bayonet someone in the chest, yes, you deserve to be fired from Bob's Burgers.
He deserves to be fucking arrested and going to jail. Jesus.
All right, so this section of the show is nothing about this is very Christmassy. This is supposed to be our Christmas special. But what did she say? What did he just say? This is the question that actually has come up a lot between you and me. Slashfilm.com has a great extensive article, which I'm going to post for you guys because I think you need to read it.
It's funny that you brought this up because I was thinking about this last night.
You'll find out why when you're watching movies and television shows and you can't understand the fucking dialogue, it's not just you. It's everyone. Dialogue is harder to understand nowadays. And I noticed this last night. Dale and I were watching. Okay, let me just stop for a second and say that Dale and I finally started watching Invasion.
Yes.
The series on Apple TV Plus. We've been putting it off for a while.
Well, premise that because so we do another podcast. And so there's only, I believe that there, and I don't know what this number is, but there is a number of how many shows simultaneously that you can keep up with during a week.
Right.
Right.
We can only watch so much.
I think there's just so much. And so we finished something.
We finished I Know What You Can Do Last Summer.
I know what you did last summer. I know what you can do last summer.
I know what you can do last summer.
I know what you did last summer. So that left open a spot, and we've been wanting to watch Invaders. It's been on the list for several months. So long that the whole season's out now.
Right.
Right?
And I didn't have high hopes for it. I didn't think I was going to like it.
And I was kind of in the same boat with you. I knew I wanted to like it. I didn't know if I was going to. And I love Sam Neill.
Yeah.
However, go now. You go.
All right. So we watched the first episode night before last. Mm-hmm. I loved every second. Fucking second of it.
Every second.
It's one of the best shows of 2021.
Now we're only one episode in. So
okay. That's true. Only one episode in. But as I'm watching it, I realized that I could not understand everything that everyone was saying.
And so Sam Neill is not American, right? I think I want to say Australian, but I don't know that for sure. But anyway, he's trying to pull off an American accent. Many actors who are un-American are able to do this flawlessly.
Sure.
He cannot pull off, and he's trying to do like this southern hick American accent, which I understand for the location where he's at. But I went through at least 50% of his scenes and his dialogue.
Not knowing what the fuck he was saying.
He was talking about. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't understand it.
There are a lot of people in the same boat with us. Many people with excellent hearing are now opting to use the closed captioning function on their televisions. Reportedly, it's the highest usage percentage ever in 2021.
So what has changed?
I'll tell you, experts were interviewed for this article, and it's a massive article, Dale. It's like 8 pages long. But they talk to lots of people to try to figure out why we can't understand dialogue in television and movies today. And there's lots of reasons. Some people said it's purposeful. Directors like Christopher Nolan, who made Tenet and The Dark Knight Rises, makes movies and pushes boundaries in sound design so that you can't really understand the dialogue. He does it on purpose. There are also actors who are increasingly whispering and being brooding and mumbling because they think that's what their characters would do.
Okay.
Maybe. Also, sound recording is the lowest guy in the totem pole, a lot of experts say. So when they're recording and they're filming a scene,
I would think that guy should have a higher position.
I know, but they're saying that their visual is the number one thing. They want to get the visual on the film.
Okay, so
and sound is secondary.
Is he second?
That's what they're saying.
Obviously not.
The technology has also made worlds more complicated with a gazillion different tracks. So they're trying to edit all these tracks together. You've got the background sound, you've got the ocean sound, you've got the...
That's a bullshit excuse.
I know, right? And then also, here's another one. They're mixing these movies, especially if you're watching a movie in a theater. They're mixing the theatrical movie in a small editing room, kind of like what we're sitting in now.
I've been in those rooms before.
Instead of a larger space like a theater where it will actually be heard 100 times louder. So they're not mixing it in a theater.
So
they're
are you saying that
it,
we could fix this if we just turn the volume up on the television?
Maybe. People who also listen to a TV show or a movie on 2 speakers, which most people, I would say that most people probably listening to our show and most people in America are listening to television and movies on 2 speakers instead of surround sound. That changes everything because these movies and TV shows nowadays are recorded in surround sound.
Well, we have surround sound.
Right. But
or don't we?
We
I
do.
don't know what we have.
We do. But our sound is... But they're editing for surround sound. They're not editing for 2 speakers. So if you
still can't understand Sam Neill and Invasion.
Well, listen, when we go to bed at night, we're watching our TV in our bedroom just with the speakers that are on the fucking TV.
Yeah.
But a lot of those shows and movies that we're watching are made for surround sound. And we're not getting that experience. So maybe it's harder to hear what you're supposed to hear.
I'm also just watching the ID channel when I go to bed.
All right. So I'm just telling you all the examples of why it's hard to understand.
Well, I'm glad it's just not me because this has been going on before.
It does.
HBO Game of Thrones.
I couldn't understand half what they were saying.
There was a lot that was going on that I was like, what the fuck are they saying? I don't know.
You also have a problem, and I also have the same problem, but you more so said that you have a problem with English accents. Thick English accents are really hard to understand.
Oh, if you do any Irish,
thick accent,
and
Cockney. Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why I don't like British television.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're trying to portray an accent, it's just their accent.
Right.
It's too
hard.
fast, and I just can't hear what they're saying.
You miss. So maybe we need to turn on RCC so that we can read along.
I feel like it ruins it.
It does ruin it. It does ruin it.
Because then I'm looking at the wrong thing instead of what the number 1 spot apparently is the visual.
Right.
So if I can't understand it, the visual is pointless. So they need to get their. It's stupid. This is the article might be right.
Yeah.
But if this is true, then it's on the fault of Hollywood.
Hollywood sucks. However, they know what they're doing when it comes to Marvel and Disney.
Well,
Spider-Man No Way Home is kicking ass. Opening weekend hauled in $260 million, more than they had projected. And it's now the second highest opening weekend in box office history. We're talking the beginning of time, the second biggest movie of all time opening weekend.
What was the first? Was it still Titanic?
Number 1 is 2019's Avengers Endgame, holding the number
Marvel.
1.
Is this Marvel only?
No. All
of all time.
All movies.
Even Avatar.
Of all movies of all time.
Even Clueless?
Shut the fuck up. And it turns out that Spider-Man No Way Home is the highest grossing movie of 2021.
I do want to see it, but I'm not going to theater to see it.
The movie, as of yesterday, has grossed over $600 million worldwide.
Wow.
I have no interest.
Wow.
I had zero interest in seeing it.
Well, I saw the first one. I liked it.
When it comes on Showtime or HBO, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But until then, no thanks.
Well, I suspected it come to Disney.
Omicron didn't stop movie theater crowds from going to the theaters to watch Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously, since they made record-breaking numbers this past weekend. But many Broadway shows have paused. The Radio City Music Christmas Spectacular ended its run 2 weeks early because of Omicron. And Saturday Night Live's this past Saturday, too many Saturdays in there.
Yeah.
This past Saturday's Saturday Night Live was mostly repeated skits on tape because half their cast is out with COVID and they had no audience.
Yeah.
New York is getting it bad. They're getting it bad. So hopefully.
Well, your major
come
cities
to an
are always
end.
going to be hit bad, and they're always going to be hit first and the hardest. So,
But the good thing is that the people with the vaccines and it's a very mild. So maybe they're getting positive cases, but it's really not knocking them down. So that's good. Excited about this. Love Norman Reedus. He's one of our favorite characters on The Walking Dead. He plays Daryl. We upstairs, one level up from our studio on our Christmas tree, we have a Daryl Christmas ornament.
we do. But no Carol. I refuse to have a Carol.
I don't even know if they
her,
make a Carol.
And I wish they would kill Carol on The Walking Dead because she's not fun anymore.
Well, you know that's not going to happen because Daryl and Carol are getting a spinoff. Yeah, so she's around for a while.
I don't think these people who are writing The Walking Dead, I think, is a great show, but Carol should have died a long time ago.
I agree with you. Anyway, the Walking Dead actor Norman Reedus has written a novel. It's called The Ravaged, and it features cherry red lips, a red cigarette, and flames on the cover. And it looks like something that his character, Daryl Dixon, might pick up and read during the apocalypse. It was written by Reedus and a guy named Frank Bill. I wonder how much Frank wrote and how much Norman wrote. I always want to know that. Ever since I knew that my sister, not supposed to say.
Like so how much of that one book that I am still reading almost 2 years later did Bill Clinton actually write?
He wrote nothing. None of it.
He didn't write anything.
How much did Dolly Parton write of her book with what's his name?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
But you wonder with these celebrity books whether they really had a hand in it or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know this because my sister works in this industry and she's ghostwritten lots of books. And
wait a minute. I just have a whole idea.
Yeah, what's that?
Are there rules about your ghost writing pen name?
No, you can.
So can you be Norman Reedus?
I could be Norman Reedus. Why not?
There you go. Problem solved. Just pick the most popular author and just say it was a pen name.
Oh, no, you can't pretend to be someone who is someone else. No, that wouldn't work.
Why not? You are right now.
No, my pen name is not someone famous. I do
that you know of.
I do write under a pen name, but not someone who is as famous as Norman Reedus.
So that matters.
Could I put out a book and call myself Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I could do
Sure,
that.
you can. If there's no problem with pen names, then you can be anybody you want.
It doesn't work that way.
Come on.
Someone could come after you for that. Anyway, I'm excited about the book. It comes out in late spring.
Maybe I'll buy it. I'll buy another book and won't read it.
Yeah, just like you've read all my books.
Well, it says right here in big letters, or Norman Reedus, The Ravage with Frank Bill. Frank Bill should be Frank Bill, The Ravage with Norman Reedus.
Yeah, but if Frank Bill really wrote the book, he's probably getting a lot of money, so he doesn't care how big his book is. His name is on the front cover. Did you guys see this? This is so fun. So fun. Florida man kicked off United Airlines flight for wearing women's underwear as a COVID-19 mask. Guy's name is Adam Jean. He's from Cape Coral, Florida. He said he wanted to make a point in regards to the silliness of people having to wear masks on airplanes. He was wearing, basically, you can see it on the next page, Dale. It's basically a red thong.
Yeah, I've seen this picture.
A woman's thong as his mask. He was, of course, kicked off the flight. I don't know if I should mention this, but he also happened to be wearing a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt. So we know where his alliance is. Several other... Now, this is what I find not quite believable, but apparently that's what Fox is reporting. Several other passengers left the flight in solidarity with Gene when he was kicked off the airplane.
More power to him.
Are you fucking kidding me? So you're flying from Florida to wherever you're going, and you decide you're going to get off the fucking plane and forfeit your ticket in solidarity for this guy who's wearing a fucking G-string as his mask. Really?
Go. Let's just go.
Be gone with you. Be gone with you.
I'll clap as you walk by my aisle.
Gene says he later received an email from United Airlines telling him he was banned from all future flights until his case had been reviewed by the Passenger Incident Review Committee.
That's hilarious.
Dude wearing I wonder if it was used panties, because that would smell better, right? Than fresh
You know
ones.
what? He should just be banned regardless. He should just be banned regardless, because if he did it to prove a point, then you're also, I'm on your flight and you're delaying me getting to my destination where I probably desperately need to get to.
Listen,
fuck you and your protest. It's not the time. Get the fuck off, Dale, and do your thing.
He did this on
your own time.
He did this on purpose.
Exactly.
He wanted to make the news, and he knew he was going to make the news doing something like this, right? He knew it was going to happen. Let's go, Brandon.
This is where if I was an airline, I would never go public.
Get off the plane, Brandon.
I'd want my airline to be a private company so I could just say, you know what, dude with the red undies, you're just not welcome on my airline anymore.
Well, I think that's exactly what they did. As a side note, major airline CEOs like American Airlines Doug Parker and Southwest Gary Kelly have testified on Capitol Hill that they don't think the federal mandate mask requirement is necessary because their airplanes
probably not.
Because their airplanes are quite literally the safest place you can be sitting that close to other people because of all of the technology and HEPA filters and the way the
filters
air
in the
flows.
air and
right.
it goes, right.
I mean, my dad's been telling us that for years.
Yeah.
It's literally the safest place you can be. I believe Doug Parker and Gary Kelly. I mean, I wore my mask in Walmart the other day. I mean, I didn't have to, but I just felt like I wanted to. But is it really protecting us? I really don't think so. It's a fucking tiny, tiny little piece of fabric. So things get around. Oh, and then you're allowed to take it off to take a sip of your drink or to eat some food. So, you're not going to get COVID while you're doing that.
Yum, yum, yum.
Give me a break.
Yum, yum, yum.
Many scientists and doctors are saying that COVID might never go away. This is a new thing. Even the Cato Institute in Washington, D.C. says this is probably here forever. We're going to have to learn to adapt, just like the flu.
Right.
Just like we're dealing with the flu every year.
Right.
And not shut down everything because people start getting this fucking thing.
You know what the issue is?
Are they going to learn that we can't shut everything down because people get sick?
Yeah, and so the issue, and I have believed this for years, is that the population of the world is just too big. And I think governments
is just thinning out
across the world.
Is that what you're saying? Thinning out the horde?
Should, not thinning the horde. You're not purposely getting rid of things. But I think governments, we should recognize where we are as a world population. And I think governments should incentivize those who don't reproduce. We need to be a less populated world. We do.
So you think that because we're not having children that we should get some kind of reward?
Well, how else are you going to have people to stop having babies?
I don't know, but I don't know what that has to do with anything that I've been talking about.
Sure it does. The more people, the more diseases. The more diseases, you're just going to kill off all the population. And then you're not going to have anything to sustain a country or a government. So I think there should be an incentive to not reproduce.
I'm with you on that. I think the birth rate is down significantly in the last 10 years.
Good.
So that's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. You don't think our world population is just astronomical?
Well,
I mean, the fact that the United States alone is 300 million people?
350 now.
350 and 300 million live in New York City.
They do.
I mean, Jesus Christ. But what comes with that is you look at the living conditions. You look at L.A., you look at New York City, you look at all the major population areas, and they're just living on fucking top of each other. No wonder we got fucking...
Well, I don't want to live in a place like that.
No, I would never live in New York City. You couldn't pay me to live there.
I want to go back to Vegas.
I want to go back to Las Vegas, too.
Melissa and Jeremy, who are longtime listeners of our show, mentioned that last week. They're in their second week of Vegas. They're there for 2 fucking weeks, which is crazy.
What, she told you that she wanted to reduce the world population?
No, but they are in Vegas, and the segue was we want to move to Vegas, and they're there right now.
Right.
It's one of our favorite places, and I've actually been talking to Melissa every day, telling her what to do and where to go. She sometimes listens to me, and she sometimes doesn't. But they did go down to the bar down in the South Valley. Mm-hmm. And they saw Lindsay. Lindsay was working, and she hooked them up, and they seemed to have fun. And then I sent her to play Panda Magic at Mandalay Bay. She couldn't get on it because some guy was hogging it, but that was my favorite game. Yeah. I told her I've sat there literally for scores and scores and scores of hours.
Oh, we've sat for hours at those machines.
Hours and hours. But I've also won tens of thousands of dollars on those machines.
Well, of course. And you look at the famous Thanksgiving of 2000. Was it 18 or 19?
I guess it was 19. And then you sat at one machine for 8 hours long.
It was Thanksgiving Day, and the purpose was to go spend our weekly free play.
Right.
And I sat at this machine on Thanksgiving Day, and I kept winning and winning and winning to the point where you went home to make dinner.
I had to go home to make Thanksgiving dinner.
And I was still winning, and I had to force myself to get up.
You did, eventually, because I said, dinner's almost ready, you have to come home. Anyway, Melissa is hell-bent on going to a buffet, and I keep telling her that buffets are pretty much dead in Vegas. They're dying very quickly.
There's still some, but I think Vegas buffets, as we know them, are gone.
Oh, they're really gone. It's just not a thing anymore.
It's a waste. It was totally a waste of food.
It's a waste of food and a waste of money. But I told her that if she wanted to experience our favorite buffet, she needs to go to Wicked Spoon at Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, that was great.
Soon to be an MGM property. Right? Excited about that.
That's right.
Also, it was announced since we last talked to you that the Hard Rock is going to be taking over the Mirage on the Strip, the famous Mirage with the volcanoes, but they're going to rip out those volcanoes, people. So if you want to see those volcanoes erupt, you better go soon.
You got to go now.
They're going to take them down and build a guitar-shaped hotel tower on top of the volcanoes.
And I don't know if you had read this or if you've been keeping up with the Las Vegas news, as I have been. But you do remember that the Palms, which is an off-strip casino.
Which is still not open.
It was sold to the...
some Indian tribe.
I'm not even going to try to say the name.
Yeah.
And the Gaming Commission of Nevada is supposed to give them their license, and they expect to open like in May or June.
Good.
Which will be the first tribe on basically the Strip. I know it's off Strip, but it will be the first tribe-owned gaming location in Las Vegas on the Strip.
Well, and the Hard Rock will be number 2 because they are owned by the people who own the Seminole Indians who own the Hard Rock brand.
Right.
The Hard Rock Hotel that is now the Virgin, which was off Strip, that was never part of the Indian.
That's right.
That was just they had just licensed the name.
Right.
So it was not really a Hard Rock. This new hotel, when they take over the Mirage, is going to be a real Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So excited about that.
I like it.
Anyway, the big, huge, massive Las Vegas news we have to say is that Las Vegas has been awarded the 2024 Super Bowl.
That's huge.
So Allegiant Stadium, where the Raiders play, will be the official home of the 2024 Super Bowl. So,
Beautiful place.
that's really great.
It's a
really
beautiful
great for Las
place.
Vegas and for everyone who lives there. It's a gorgeous stadium.
It is a
I haven't been there
great
yet,
stadium.
but I'd like to go.
Yeah.
Just closing thoughts here. Binge Bum is back this week. It's going to be our Christmas movie and special. So we're going to be telling you about all the Christmas movies like Home Alone and It's a Wonderful Life and all these wonderful Christmas movies, where you can find them, even if they're not made for streaming.
Original,
Right. Christmas Vacation. Where can you find that on streaming? Is it on streaming? We'll let you know. And if it's not, we'll tell you how to buy it. Anyway, we're putting out the show a day early.
2 days
early. Well, is it a day? I thought it was coming out on Thursday.
No, I think it's probably come out on Wednesday.
It may come out on Wednesday. Anyway, it's coming out early this week because, of course, Christmas is Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to be busy later this
Right,
week.
we got have guests in the house.
So we're literally
we just gotta
taping.
get this shit done.
Yeah, we're literally taping the show as soon as I pull down the mics on this show. So anyway, we love you guys. We'll see you again. Hey, we're back next week. We're not taking any break for Christmas. We're back with our last show of 2021. Yeah, last show of 2021. We'll be back next week.
I didn't know that. I
No
was about
break.
to tell everybody to say I'll see you on the flip side.
No, there's no break here, Bob.
Fuck that.
No break. I'm with you on that. I think. Yeah.